Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J-Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 163.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun number. 6 and a 3 and a 1. Did you have a fantabulous Valentine's Day yesterday?
It was alright.
Okay.
Yep. We went out to eat, and kids got little presents that they were playing with in the morning, and yeah, it was alright. But still have one more day of our weekend because the President's Day off. So.
Yep. Yeah, I think we signed up for the big kids to go to SAC, and then our daycare announced that they're having a in-service day.
Oh.
So we're like, I
guess I'm staying home anyway.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of let the kids decide if they want to go or if they want to stay home with us. I'm guessing that they'll probably stay home, even though there is sledding and going to a Boy Scout ranch and whatever involved.
My kids at this point would probably be like, yeah, I want to go to SAC. They're already going stir crazy.
Yeah, it's cold here.
Yes.
High of 2. And I know that it's been cold in other places, so that's not anything,
unique.
Yeah, earth-shattering. I can't remember who, the Canadians, I think, were on my Instagram feed this morning. Do you ever do that in the morning? Like, I'll grab my phone, it's still on the charger, and I just kind of flip through Instagram. What's going on in the world? Is it worth getting out of bed for? But yeah, oh goodness.
Yeah.
Super cold. Like, their temperatures were what our wind chills were.
Yeah. But I also am happy we don't have 6 feet of snow.
Yeah, this is true.
I saw a lot of that on Instagram as well. So
I'll take the snow. I'll take snow over cold any day and twice on Sunday.
Oh, I don't know. They're losing power and getting buried in their houses. And
yeah, but that can be cozy. I'm just kidding. Yeah, in general, it just needs to,
be spring.
Yeah, be spring. Somebody was posting, like, throwback pictures of, like, grass greening up and coming up, and I was like, oh, man, that looks nice.
Yeah.
I want that.
Or just live in a warmer place, because, there's people experiencing some lovely weather, and even in this country.
Yep.
So.
The kids always get balloons, so the helium balloons on Valentine's Day, and we go down to the dollar store and pick them out a balloon for $1. Jeremy made us some chocolate-covered strawberries, which was pretty fancy and nice, but otherwise, went to Panera at about 2 o'clock thinking that would be, because we had a really late breakfast, that would be like the perfect time, and it was super busy. Even at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I think that all restaurants were busy on that day because we went out to eat as well, and we got there at 5:30, and they told us it was going to be a half an hour wait. But I think a lot of people had already decided to either go somewhere else or because we were only there for like 10 minutes when they finally let us in. So that was a pleasant surprise since we were willing to wait. They let us in early.
Yeah. And then we went to Target and picked out our evening meal. So a nice hodgepodge of like curly fries and bacon wrapped scallops and like just,
whatever wanted.
Whatever for Valentine's Day. And got some really sweet little notes from the kids that said I love you. They were all like tiptoeing around yesterday, like letting me sleep in was was my gift. Which was shh, don't wake him up. It was like thank you. But I hear you. I hear everything that you're doing. You quit screaming at each other.
Yeah. No, that happens at my house too. Like Mom's still sleeping. It's like, oh my gosh, just any voice carries through our house.
Yep.
You could be like stomping around and I wouldn't hear you as much as like a shh, stop it.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I don't think I had anything else to speak of. No,
Okay.
no funniness. I'll probably remember as we're sitting here and be like, goodness, why didn't I speak about that? But right now, nothing is coming to me.
Okay.
We currently have a couple of giveaways going on. We've got the Fix a Stitch that we talked about last week, and they generously gave us two $15 kits to give away that we're going to group together to give to you. And that's just a recent repair that you enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have February is the Mint Rain is sponsoring the self-striping, and she's got a coupon code out there. So if you're interested in trying out some of her colorways, you could give that a go. And then we've got the Bijou Basin,
Yes.
super fine, super.
Yes, it's a really lovely kit. You get the Tibetan Dream yarn, 3 small bottles of their Allure wool wash, and a tote and a pattern. And it's all very, very lovely stuff. I have been knitting with the Tibetan Dream, and I did use the coupon code. Now that's already gone because that expired on Saturday, but I used that and got some yak yarn that I will show you later. But we will draw for that one next week. So go ahead, rush, get your entries in. I thought that we were scheduled to draw tonight, but I didn't actually say in the thread when I would draw. So I decided to show off the lovely yarns and talk about it one more time, and then you can find out who won next week.
Cool. And that is that.
All right.
We're just talker mixins
Yeah,
tonight.
I know. We're just rush. I don't know. Like, on to the next thing. I keep forgetting to twist this. I have a pattern that says to twist the purl stitches, and for some reason that does not stick in my head.
You forgot.
Yeah. I remember for like one needle, and then I get to the next needle and I forget.
I'm so obsessive compulsive that, like, if I did something like that wrong once, like, I would spend an inordinate amount of time, like, going back and looking at every purl. Okay, did I forget that one? No. Okay. Did I forget that one?
I'm sure I'll be able to see it when I look at the back side, because I'll see the twisted, or I won't. But yeah. I only finished one tiny little thing, so I will show that. I finished a baby hat in the Static Zing, and the top is a little, I don't know, made up. I just went as close as I could as possible to what I thought it should be, and it feels like it's a little pokey, but I might throw a pom-pom on it later. I'm not sure.
Pom-pom solves everything.
It might be jazzed up with pom-pom. But yeah, it's so tiny.
Actually, it's kind of big.
Well, I decided to go with the baby, not newborn, because this baby is due. This one was March, so they get to, like, maybe roll it up a little bit and stick it on the newborn like this, and then when it's like getting to be fall next, in the next 4 to 6 months, that's when the kid will be like, I'm rocking my hat. So that is all I finished. And I am blocking my trilogy cardigan. So there's a lot of finishing to do on that cardigan. So I'm blocking it, and then I'm finishing the edges, and then I'm going back and doing the sleeves. And that's mainly so that if I run out of yarn, I have short sleeves, not an unfinished edge. And yeah, everything else is a whip. So
did it block up nice?
I mean, the pattern's fine. It's the yarn that's concerning me. So we'll see. Once it dries, I'll give it a thumbs up, thumbs down. Yeah, it's still very soft and lovely alpaca. It's just like, I thought I was doing everything on gauge and trying to block it to the core, the specifications. I had to smush because it was growing. And I was like, well, I don't want it to be enormous. It's already going to be a lot longer in the front panels than it was supposed to be, but I wanted it to be the right up and down because I knew that alpaca would grow as I wore it too. So I was just, I don't know,
the weight of the
garment will bring it down. But yeah, so that's kind of zhuzhed into place, and it'll dry over the next few days and hopefully work out.
Yeah, I've recently had a bout of things that I've washed and been kind of like, I could see throwing this in the dryer just for a bit to kind of.
The pack is all fuzzy.
I know.
But no,
not maybe in your case, but in my case, I was like, I washed the boxy and it got really big, and it was, it's already really big,
right?
And so, yeah. What else did I wash recently that I was? Well, my mom's Hitofude. I was like,
right.
yeah, this could possibly go in with the bamboo, go in the dryer a little bit. But my finished objects, I finally put a thumb on it. If you like it, then you should have put a thumb on it. These have not been washed. I made the thumb, it's a 6-row repeat, and so you could make it longer if needed. I like my thumbs a little shorter so that my, I don't know why I like them. I don't have big thumbs, A, I guess, but B, I just like it. It doesn't extend, I could make it exactly me-sized. So yeah, just kind of a chevron-y. I struggled and struggled and struggled with it. Like I ripped it out and picked it back up and ripped it out and picked it back up, and I like the way it turned out. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't exactly match the motif, the kind of curling back in on itself motif. But to my test knitters who have been patiently waiting, the pattern will be on its way.
Okay.
It just had to finish the thumb. Strange that. Trying to pull the thumb out. I really like, because this is the pattern in general is just these 3-stitch floats, basically. I like the way the inside looks too. Isn't that fun? Every once in a while you see where there was a 5-stitch and there you had to wrap it, but it's kind of cool. I like the insides. Kind of like a Valentine's Day card. I like the insides and the outsides. Insert sappy music here. And then I had enough that I started a hat, so I'll talk about that in whips, but I'm calling them the Wonder Wander because the original pattern was Philosopher's Walk. So in my mind, a philosopher is walking around and wondering and wandering.
Okay.
Wander. Okay. Plus I like sounds apparently. Because my last name is Williams. Wonder Wander. Weather the weather. W sounds here. And these are the socks that I'm knitting for my friend who's going to possibly be having some surgery in the short term here. This is with the Spud & Chloe Super Fine or Stripey Fine. I really like the hand of the yarn. I have not yet washed them because I didn't want them to be wet tonight as I was talking about them. But she conveniently has the same size foot as me. So I was able to try them on. I was telling Amy before we podcasted that last week when I just had the cuff, I was talking about how, they weren't a conventional stripe, but I like the unconventional stripiness of it. I mean, it's kind of like getting that skein and trying to get it to stripe, and it looks, from 2 separate skeins that I randomly drew from a huge pile that they sent us, they both striped up, maybe possibly different. So if you're OCD and you want your stripes to look exactly the same, this might not be the yarn for you, but again, it's a unique base. It's the merino silk, and it does stripe. It stripes very well, and I didn't have to break the yarn after doing the heel flap and
right, to continue on. Yeah.
to continue on, because it's going to do its own thing. It's going to do its own thing, and meeting with her this week to give them to her. I enjoy kitchening because I don't get to do that very often. And yeah, they're socks.
Yeah.
And they're fun. Warm
and they're done.
They're warm and fun, and they're done, son. Yeah, I've got the popsicle socks, and we determined it was mint chip last week, so I'm excited about the grape freeze too.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of those knit up. Tutti Frutti is kind of fun. I could see my daughter having something out of Tutti Frutti. Orange cream. It all sounds very good. I must be hungry.
It all sounds very tasty dessert.
It does, it does. And so, yeah, I did some finishing, which feels good because, you know, I don't like having bags with projects sitting around. That's not me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm getting a little twitchy about the socks. Like, I have so many socks that are like, oh, I got one sock done.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to get the other sock done. And so I had worked diligently on my static zings and then found out I had to rip them back. So they got reverse progress. They went from being ready for the heel to down back to the toe. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't double check the count of the stitches on the first sock when I was knitting the second sock. I just went, oh yeah, I remember what I cast on and what I got to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I just started knitting away and didn't even think about it until I got to the toe the heel, and was putting the stitches, arranging them, and then I looked at I'm like, this looks smaller, but only a little bit smaller, and yeah. So when I finally figured it out.
To the tune of how many stitches?
4 total. Yeah.
Half an inch in circumference.
Yeah. So, and they both fit. Like, I even, like, tried them both on and went, is this really worth it?
And it hard, yeah.
Yeah. Oh. And then I did it. And one thing I will say about whenever you cross over at the color change to start the new color,
mm-hmm.
that creates a little problem when you're ripping.
Mm-hmm.
So just had to continually untwist the stuff as I was ripping. Sigh. But they will be perfect now. And I have already knit through the black and I am onto the blue, so I feel like they're going faster the second time around.
Yeah. I never regret. Once you've done it, like,
yes.
I will hem and haw and whatever, but once you've done it, it's like, it's done now. I can't unknit.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. I don't know. I was almost done. That's all I kept saying to myself. I was like, oh, I was almost done.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to go back. I'm still knitting on my ball of yarn. This really didn't get very far. So this is my worsted boxy, and with the cotton linen. And it's just straight knitting, so I'll be happy to just keep knitting on that.
It's your wishing for warmer weather.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it's my wishing for warmer weather. And I know that I have extra month to work on it, so I've been less urgent.
Is team motivating to you that I threw April in?
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much.
Noted.
But this baby hat was so fun, I decided to cast on another one. And I know who this one's going to. They don't know the sex of the baby, so it's going to be splattertastic every color.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to go with a slightly smaller start, but not a whole lot smaller. This is a March baby, and this one's an April baby. So this one they'll probably use as a fall hat. Can't imagine They seem to be very small people to start with as well. So, just naturally small. So, what?
I don't know. That's just, what do you say about me when you're talking about me? They're naturally weird people. They just started out weird. They've always been weird.
I don't know. He's a coworker, and I was having a conversation with him, and he said that she's due in April, and he said that she weighs 117 pounds. I'm like, that's a small person. If you're carrying another person inside of you, and you still weigh less than I have ever weighed in my adult life, you're a small person.
Truth.
So yeah, and I think that, he's my height, maybe an inch taller. So, they are on the smaller side.
So that hat could fit for a good long bit.
I hope so. And it's very stretchy, right? That pattern is super stretchy.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
So
Stretch-tastic.
And I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the zing or not, because I gotta find another color, right? I want to be gender neutral. And I know blue can be gender neutral, but a lot of people who are having kids don't see it that way. So they're like green or yellow, or this one has every color of the rainbow, so that should work. And then I still haven't started the second sock syndrome, but this one and the zings and the trilogy are the last of my 3 projects that were from, the hashtag knit.
Whipping it down.
Whipping it down 2015. So I'm trying really hard to work on those. But these little baby hats are just such potato chip knitting for me. I feel like I keep wanting to work on those instead. I also went ahead and started 2 more minis. So I have another mini weave going, and then a mini Zombie the Podcaster, which I may write up. But so they're tiny and they're started, and then I also want to do some more mini socks and mini hats and things. So I'm just starting on my mini craze, and hopefully I will have a dozen or so, or a couple dozen by the time the retreat comes around.
Yeah. So what did the mini knitter say when they were done knitting?
Wee! It's wee! And then I knit this all the way up to where I have to start the pattern. So the cuff is done. And I remember this thing going very zoom once I got to this point. So I kind of...
It's a fun stitch pattern.
Yeah, I kind of set it aside at this point, because I want to read to make sure that I'm doing it right, because you got to do it right hand and left hand. And then, I don't know, I have so many other things to work on. I don't want the wee factor on the flying off the needles factor to distract me from the things that I would like to get done for my hashtag. So, once that hashtag is done, though, I am super excited to cast on a million things.
To get yourself back in trouble.
Yeah. Always. But if I do that, then if I legitimately do that before I cast on anything else, I will only have this one sweater. And then I think, I will be able to go crazy again. But hopefully only 2 socks, 2 sweaters, and then a smattering of baby hat and miniatures. Hopefully. I would like to stay to 2 smalls and 2 larges. That's probably not going to happen. No. But
is there anything on the short list that you just want to cast on immediately?
On the short list? No. Like, I have like 4 or 5 sweaters already balled, and kind of sitting
a short list.
Yeah, sitting on deck. But it's not like one, like that's like, yes, I must. I think it'll all come down to yarn. When I'm finally ready to work on one, I'll be like, okay, which yarn do I want to work with? And then, or color, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll all be the yarn, not the pattern.
My owl tweet that was going to be my allure. They just, if you subscribed to their newsletter, sent out a coupon code to get a sweater pattern for free.
I did get that.
I got that as well, and it's for that owl tweet. It's kind of a cropped, really wide open front cardigan with brioche pockets that you end up turning, and they're kind of, it's like a hidden pocket. I won't make it cropped. I'll probably add length to it as I want to do, although I don't know if I have enough yardage because it is like a big sweater. So I might need to make it smaller. I think the smallest size is like 42.
Wow.
Is how big around it is. Because it's supposed to be a big oversized sweater. But that's on my short list. I'm like, must cast that on. But it didn't fit into the wishing for warmer weather.
No.
It's a big alpaca merino cozy sweater with like pockets to stuff in, Kleenexes and cough drops. And
this is your sixth sweater. You're like, I've already envisioned. This
is a nest. You just live in it and never come out.
Maybe a remote and a phone in the side and the tissues.
Maybe, some power bars in case you're stuck in an elevator or survivalist. It's a survivalist sweater. You can put everything and all. This looks really wee. When I provisionally cast on, it always really annoys me. The needles kind of flop around, and or these are a size smaller. So they're the actual size that the ribbing is going to be. So it's the down. So then I get better living through twisty ties. I twisty tied them together, but I'm going to undo it here so that you can see how big it stretches to. This is a very stretchy pattern as well, but this is my literally over the top.
Yep. Definitely a lot wider now.
Yep. And it is out of Sophie's Toes in her trio. So I figured out I'm going to lengthen it so it's 24 inches long, so it'll be 8 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches. So this one, and then it'll transition to this one, and then the gray is going to be at the top.
Pretty.
Yeah, and I kind of tried to do our rayers out of this, so you can see I've got some yarn on the outside, and once I get past that, I'll be like, yes, I actually made it through. So this will work for Sophie's Toes is going to be at ZK, so this will also work for our ZK KAL. Cool. In addition to, I will be part of the designer showcase as well. But knitting your own patterns kind of feels like cheating.
Well, so I felt like cheating because my finished object right now is only that little sock. It's really tiny.
But she's going to knit more of them.
I will.
Yeah. And this yarn, this MCN, is like butter. It's like the softest, hello sir, thing you have ever felt. It's like booter now. God, I still can't think of the gal's name that says that from the Food Network. Paula Deen. They were making fun of her on Saturday Night Live, and they were saying booter now, like butter. Oh, it's so soft. What else have I got going on? Speaking of minis, have my For Good hat.
Oh, it's so tiny.
It is me, and it's a little tall. I feel like in proportion, like when I'm doing the decreases, but it's going to have to be okay. I downsized the stitch pattern so that it would fit better. Obviously the cast on is much different. And this is Infinite Twist Helix. Yeah, I've got some leftovers from the Spud and Chloe socks that I think I'll try knitting up another one in a variegated. just not really seeing the
stitch pattern
quite yet in this. But I got to a point where I needed to, I did this yesterday while we were at Panera, where I needed to do crown decreases, and I was like, that's going to take too much mental effort. So I stopped. And yeah, oh, see, I've already got it in there. Look at me planning ahead. It's going to be in there, yeah. A mint chip, we're good. And then I'll get a little trinket or a button or something and put it on that button band. It'll be super fun. Super fun. I'm excited about it. She's still selling these kits. Not these kits for the
joyful,
but the joyful. Hi, Max. I know. I love you too. And she had a picture out on Instagram of all of them before she had balled them up to make them into, oh, it's so cute. So cute. Makes me want to knit them all over again. And this is the Wander hat. I think I'm to the point where I'm going to start decreasing. So another one where I got to where I was going to...
Oh, and you're like,
I have to design that. And I looked at how I wrote this up, and I don't have the right number of stitches.
Oh.
So the decreases will look a little different on the hat. But I'm running, and this is the Sun Valley Fibers BFL. I don't have very much of the blue left.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard for me because for the longest time I didn't do Colorwork. So to me, it's like, oh, well, but I'm only going to use half as much. Nope. With Colorwork, it's the same amount.
Stranded anyway.
Yeah, because it's being held double, which makes it super warm, but what else was I going to say about this? I found that mentally it was easier for me when I put the little markers in between the repeats, because so much of it is just 3 blue, 3 yellow, 3 blue, 3 yellow, and then any time that it's just a little different, I needed the marker there to remind me where the beginning of the round was. And I don't know if I'm going to write up the pattern this way, but for me, I did this for myself. When I'm doing Colorwork, I know the main color is often the darkest color, but I had some like cognitive dissonance between like, well, what if I wanted the main color, you know, like the band to be the lighter color, and then, I don't know, I charted it so that the main color was the darker color, and then also the main color was the lighter color.
Okay.
And obviously I'm using the darker color on this one, but I can't remember if on my brother's mittens that I made him, I needed to have flipped it. I can't remember either. But I liked it. I like having both options. Is the main color always the darkest color? Is that just how it is in Colorwork land?
I haven't paid attention between the patterns to see if like they always do it that way or not.
I mean, it wouldn't make that much difference if the green and the blue were flipped here.
No.
But, I mean, it's nice to have that option. Anywho.
Yeah, I know that on Christmas stockings I was doing, like, sometimes the way that they had it written was different than
the yarn.
The yarn that I was, it was opposite. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, it made my brain hurt, I swear, while I was knitting my brother's, like, that the blue was actually the, like the darker color didn't match the darker color on the
chart.
The chart. So I kept on having to go like, no, actually I need to flip that. So then I recharted it. And I don't know why I chose to do it that way. Anyway, I feel like this is a psychological study and somebody out there will be saying like, actually, Megan, that means that you're silly and you shouldn't just knit it the way that it said to knit it instead of the opposite. But for some reason I wanted to do it differently because I do that sometimes.
Yeah, true story.
And those are my works in progress.
Alrighty.
I've been doing a fair amount, it feels like, of design work. So That's good.
Yeah.
Get my mini knocked out and
Mhm.
finish that color work and wabam.
Yes, well, bam, indeed.
Wabam. You said you had some enabling, and I don't. I feel so virtuous.
Does that mean I got to feel virtuous all these past?
I believe you did. I feel like you were silently over there going like, look at Megan buying all of that stuff. I'm so good.
So I bought the Bijou Spun Sport Weight, and it's yak only. So it's a yak down. It's very fuzzy. What I want to create is myself a like schlanket, like a shawl blanket. It's only 1,000 yards, but 1,000 yards of sport should give me something really nice to work with and be able to wrap around me and keep me warm. But yeah, I used the 15% off. And then while I was doing this stuff for myself, I added in the Tibetan Dream sock yarn for my mom. So she said natural brown or one of the greens, and I remember how pretty the natural brown was in person, so I went with that. And this just definitely looks a lot fuzzier than the stuff that I have.
It does. Is this woolen spun as opposed to?
I don't know. Or maybe it's just the natural white fiber
kind of hides.
No, this is definitely different. I will have to take a look at that. See what actually I am working with. But it said Tibetan Dream on the thing, so maybe the difference is because of the natural.
Is one a sock and one not?
This is the Tibetan Dream, which
is
what I was.
In nylon.
Yeah, it has nylon in it. So either way, I think this is the one that gets. It is sock approved. So, but yeah, the texture is really different than the ones that I got.
Maybe the dyeing process. I don't know.
No, yeah. Well, I'm sure it will work up into something very lovely.
Yes. They're both very soft.
And then I went ahead and put in some of their Allure and the Prairie Breeze.
Was that your favorite of the ones that they had sent, or?
Yeah, I mean, I liked both of the scented ones. The unscented one, every time I use it, I'm kind of like, why? I would
kind of like caffeine-free coffee.
Yeah. I'm like, why?
Why?
I don't understand.
It looks kind of cold. Oh yeah, that is good. Is that what I have?
No, I think you have the Woodland.
Ooh, I do have the Woodland. You're right. I like that one though.
So, yeah, I really like how it's been working out. This is actually kind of cloudy because it was outside.
It looks cold.
Yes, it's very cold. But yeah, I'm pretty happy. I can't wait to start knitting up.
Are you striping the?
I haven't decided. There's a couple shawls that, like, I don't know. I do want it to be more schlankety, so I can't decide what shape to do. A triangle doesn't lend itself to schlankety, so it's either gonna be like a bigger rectangle shawl, or like a crescent, like those really large crescents. Like I saw one, well, I don't know. Some of the ones I've seen require more colors than just 2 colors, so I'll just have to see what I come up with.
Did you know Ravelry now has because I have been looking at Colorwork sweaters, an option to select how many colors a design uses, which is pretty cool.
So if you have a multicolored design, do you have to go and relabel it so that it shows up?
I don't know. You might.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it might take it a while to get to that point, right, where people have done it correctly. But like I've got those 3 colors of that Romney from Fancy Tiger Crafts, and like I've been looking at Colorwork patterns for it, and that was an option to choose 3.
Okay.
But I also feel like with anything, the search parameters, I could probably take like a 2-color design and turn it into a 3-color, or that helps if you're looking for a literal, but you have to make it a little fuzzier, make it a fuzzy search when you're doing it. They had another option other than number of colors too. Okay. I can't remember, but they're doing some new data mining.
Yeah, it's definitely somewhere that I can get lost in. Just keep clicking around. So let's try it with sport weight only. Or
strange how no knitting gets accomplished when you're doing that too.
Yeah.
That's what I keep telling myself. I always kind of have one eye on the clock, because it's like, whoa, where did the last half an hour go?
Yeah, that's about right. Every time I kind of click on a pattern, if I'm really looking for one, like for a 2-color or something specific for a yarn, and it has to fit the yarn, it takes like a half an hour.
I was trying to think of the one that I just came up with. I don't think it has the 3 colors selected in it, but it's by Amanda Bell. It's Marsh Marigold. Have you seen this? Yeah, it's in her Malabrigo. It's got 3 colors.
Oh, cute.
So pretty. But I was going to look and see whether or not it has 3 colors selected. I don't think it does, but I think that would look really pretty in that like aubergine and almost these same colors.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm drawn to it. I'm so literal. But yeah, it's Malabrigo North Sea is the collection, I believe. Is what it's called. She's so cute. That's Amanda Bell in the picture. But it's steeked, and so that kind of scares me.
Well,
I think I know, but cutting a little cozy and sewing a zipper in to make it
way different.
Is way different. I turned it into why can't I think of it? The twisted. It's a shape that only has one side because the one
Mobius strip.
A Mobius. I turned it into a Mobius.
Okay.
Which I think it would be harder to do in a cardigan. So that
it should be.
I've got that going for me. But yeah, that's a lot of cutting.
Yeah. It's a lot of knitting to then cut.
Yes.
But I think you can do it.
I do too. I think I can do it. It's whether or not the pattern would lend itself well to that Romney though.
True.
But anywho, we have ZK stuff that we can talk about.
Okay.
We published the new logo, and there will be shirts for sale through Acme. We can linky-loo that. The in general theme this year is branching out. So,
yeah, if you're handy with the Googles, you can find a t-shirt. You won't need a link.
Yeah, it's acmeglobal.bigcartel.com.
And we're the only product they have right now?
Yep. So Acme does a good job for us.
Yes.
And what else? Oh, so super cute, sitting on a branch, knitting the ZK.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
I think I may have been like a logo person in a past life or something. I don't know. It makes me happy. We'll be having teacher volunteer to teach a class signups coming up.
Yes.
As well as the 5K and the
wine tour.
I was going to say wine crawl. That sounds different.
Yeah. It's Hank and Prohl, which is our local yarn store sponsored yarn crawl. Yarn, wine. It's a wine tour. Basically, we're stopping at Hank and Pearl's shopping for a while, and then we're going to go to the winery, winery. We're going to spend a leisurely time tasting there. So a 4-hour tour. Yes, a 4-hour tour. That is the number that we have to hit, 4 hours.
Yep.
And, so So that'll be fun and different, and hopefully it's relaxing, and people will feel like they have time to settle into a space and enjoy themselves.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, for anybody that went on the yarn crawl last year, Hank and Pearls, did their location change, or were they brand new in their location?
They
last
were
year?
brand new in the location they were at. Yep.
Okay.
They've got more yarn.
They do.
Yep.
Every time I go in.
Yep. More yarn than they did last year, and yeah, they will be ready for us, and we will be able to spend more time there. So little bit of both on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be great. And because of them, we are going to be able to have a tasting and snacks. And
Amy has thoroughly tested the wine.
I went out there once.
Come on, give yourself a little bit more credit than that. We always have fun on the 5K.
Yep.
And all kinds of fun stuff coming up. I'm super excited. We've got the ZKVKN coming up again, another one here in February. We're trying to do 2 a month. So jump on that and say hello, if only for a wee bit. Come with questions if you've got questions. I think that's fun as well.
Yep.
We had a couple people that had like prompts to like ask other folks about. So conversation is open to your own, wherever you want to drive it.
Yeah. Yep. And there was a few of them open last time, and some people decided to hop around.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to do that. Like, you feel like, well, I've spent a lot of time in here, and there's a whole another room full of people I haven't even seen yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that was good. I happened to have a computer that worked on the first week, so I'll have to remember to make sure I have that again.
Woohoo! I had multiple computers that worked, so I was trying to, make sure that everything was okay and all kinds of them. What else do we got going on? Your mom is again making some bags for us with a very branch-orific fabric. So those will be available. And again, all of this will hopefully be coming out in an email in short order. Just trying to get, I don't want to barrage you with a bunch of onesie-twosie emails, but it's hard to get everything in one email as well, because that's a lot to get lined up. If you remember the visual cue of the wave. Yeah. A lot of people in a wave going down the couch. So,
yes. And most of them are falling into line.
Yes.
And we looked at last year's, and it's quite the email. So please read through everything, but everything's highlighted with a header. So if you're not interested in the wine, skip that one. I'm not interested in volunteering for the classes or whatever. Skip that one. So everything's headered, so you should be able to dive in to the things that interest you most
with the deadlines. So again. Yes. I don't have it at the tip of my tongue here, but I think it's end of April is when the cutoff is for the t-shirts. And then we'll have the cutoff for the wine crawl and the cutoff because swag needs to be ordered in my case, and buses need to be, lined up for the number of people that are coming. And so, there'll be timelines and details, and it will all be there, hopefully one-stop shop. If you have any questions or you just want to go out and meet some new people, the Zombie Knitpocalypse Ravelry group is a great place to do that. Yes. I had somebody comment to me that they didn't know that we had a Ravelry group specifically for the retreat, so I wanted to make sure I got that plug in. And it's every year about this time, it just starts to feel really real. I think once it's Yarn Over is over, it'll feel even more real. And once it starts being non-snowy, that will also be another milestone.
Yeah. I mean, the really surreal is when I was working downtown, the week that our street fair starts, and then you're like, just 3 weeks, and our people will be amongst the crowds, right? And
eating ice cream sandwiches and checking out. There's some fun
and we'll
things.
cross our fingers for no rain Thursday.
Well, no, I think they have it in the rain. I think it was that it was supposed to be like
Thundery.
thunderstorm
Yeah,
and
okay.
blowing and
No, none of that.
no inclement weather Thursdays. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
sounds good. Yeah. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.